So here we go, finishing this game, LSU Ole Miss game, and I'm sure I'm like most Tiger fans, extremely depressed that the way this one turned out. I felt like we had a really good chance going into this game, and I think you look back at this game and you'll talk about the lack of a running game inside the tackles. You'll talk about Garrett Nussmeier not throwing the deep ball like he's capable of. You'll also talk about how long our defense stayed on the field, the number of plays they were out on the field, and the penalties that cost us in drives during this game to keep drives going. We'll also talk about number 8, their big tight end there at the end of that game. That's the guy that they're going to try to go to, and we don't even have a guy on him. Nobody close. And, I think the thing that's the most demoralizing, or the thing that gets you down, is looking at this team and where can we change to be better offensively running the football. And right now, I don't think you're going to change scheme. I don't think our scheme is the best as far as running the ball or getting the ball down the field. It looks like teams are comfortable playing zone, rushing 3. They're going to get pressure with us with 3 guys, and we don't have the route concepts, or we don't have the right scheme to get guys open in zones. And I think a lot of that is not being efficient on first down, not being efficient on second down, and then you put yourself in a situation where, and it happened to us today, we're running routes. They're going to drop guys in zones. They're going to cover those guys deep that are past the first down marker, and they're going to make us check it down short of the down marker and make us have to make a guy miss to pick up the first down. And then when you're playing against SEC caliber guys that are good athletes, you're not going to make them miss all the time to go get the first down. So it's definitely very, very, very frustrating. I just don't know where we can go. I'll tell you one bright spot: Kearns, the right tackle, the true freshman right tackle that played this game. Watched him. I was thoroughly impressed with him. There was one play that I saw that he got beat, gave up a sack late in that game, but that D lineman kind of jumped the snaps. But his hands, his feet, his anticipation, for a true freshman, that guy's a bright spot, going to be a bright spot for us. Something's got to change. We got to go back to the drawing board offensively with our scheme. I think we got to put the quarterback under center, and we have to run the ball on the inside, because if not, we just don't have the scheme and the guys to get it done downfield, to spread it out. TJ Brown is basically saying the offense doesn't look good, plain and simple. I agree with you. To be considered one of the top teams in college football, not a scheme that stresses you defensively, whether it's on the ground. We tried to throw some deep balls today and just couldn't connect. Nuss underthrew a couple. I mean, I know we had one to Brown. We had 2 or 3 to Chris Hilton. We couldn't draw the PI, or we couldn't complete the ball, and just frustrating. I don't even know where to go with this. The bright spot that we thought was our defense looked like we had some holes there during this game, and I know they were out there for a lot of snaps, but Trinidad Chambliss just, a guy that played D2 ball last year and for the past 4 years, went out there and got it done, looked unbelievable. And I tell you, I think I hate talking about it, but we got out-coached tonight. They had a better scheme, they had a better game plan, and they executed it better. Too many times we wasted timeouts. Once was on a 3rd and short. We were about to go quarterback sneak. We had to call a timeout. You just got to get up there and run it. Guys got to get set. We had to waste a timeout on a field goal, just being lazy, getting out there and getting set up. David, I'll go to Facebook, got beat too many times with 3 and 4 man rush. And I agree with you. We're putting ourselves behind the chains. We're getting in 3rd and 10 plus several times in that game, and they feel like they can rush 3 guys and they can cover you, and us is going to have to hold on to the ball until somebody gets there. They never should get there on a 3-man rush. Your protection should be, you should have 2 double teams. You should have, if we have a back in the backfield, a back and a tackle on the tight end, you should have, really 3 double teams. If you go empty, you're going to have 2 double teams, and somebody's got to win one-on-one. And that's where we got beat one time with our left tackle, when he was the guy that had the one-on-one, and you just can't get beat that quick. Brian is saying that the positive on this was we played terrible and still had a chance. We have to make some adjustments. We got out-coached. We got to do something with our running game. We have to do something to be able to complete passes deep down the field. or else this is going to be a long season. You know, you saw Whit Weeks go down with an ankle. We got to get some guys healthy. I think Durham is our best bet at running back, but you still, no matter who you have back there at running back, you have to get it going early. It's got to be a mindset. It's got to be a mentality that we're going to run the football. It can't be a second thought. And today in this game, our running game was inside the tackles was a second thought. You know, we thought we were going to be able to do enough with our athletes. Motion Xavier Thomas in the backfield, giving him some attempts on basically a speed sweep to the outside, doing it with Jawan Johnson. And it's not like this is something that just happened this year. It was something that was last year. We couldn't run the ball in between the tackles. So I'm going to scheme. You know, I think we got to get under center. We got to be more multiple with what we try to do, you know, inside, outside zone. We got to do something. We got to change something. If we don't change it, then we're sitting here every week and we're pissed. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of adjustments we make between now and next week. And we have to do something, got to get guys more involved. If we got to come in and bring a fullback in, I know there was talk of Pyburn possibly playing in that fullback spot. You might have to try it, you know, get in the eye. See if you can create something with that, with some play actions off of it. Even if it's a two-man route, you're going to make them bring another guy in the box. And Nuss has got to get healthy. He's got to get better. Just not very good in this game. I'm going to go quick to the stats for you guys and just talk about this game. The final score, 24-19. First downs. I mean, you can look at this stat, and it'll pretty much tell you the story of the game. Ole Miss had 28 first downs. The Tigers had 16. Another area that we have to get better in, if we want to win any game, is third down efficiency. We were 2 of 11. Ole Miss was 8 of 16. Both teams went for 2 fourth downs, and they both got them. Total yards, Ole Miss had 480, LSU 254. Passing yards. I mean, they just lit us up in the air. 314 yards Trinidad Chambliss had. The Tigers passing game only accumulated 197 yards. Completions, Nuss was 21 for 34, 23 for 39. They threw the ball almost 40 times. And, you know, you can see why they picked up so many yards in the passing game. Each team threw one interception. Nuss threw one early, and then we got a big pick. It looked like the momentum of the game was going to change, and we just couldn't make it happen. Rushing, you're not going to win many games. The Tigers had 57, and then Ole Miss rushed for 166 yards. You're going to lose almost every time when you give up 166 yards on the ground. Penalties, 7 for 78 for LSU. Ole Miss had 14 penalties for 109 yards. Time of possession was the last stat I'll go over, and almost even back up there towards the end. 32 for Ole Miss, 27 for LSU. We got to find a way to get better. You know, we can make a run with one loss, but we have to make some changes. Got to get some guys healthy, and we got to find a way to go get this running game going. We appreciate our sponsors for stepping in with us. Jerry Lane, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. They're right here in Zachary. If you're looking for a new or used vehicle, go check them out on Samuel Road. Chris's Specialty Food, jumping in this week. We thank y'all for the food, for providing the food, for the snapback with T-Mac, and for joining us for the rest of the year. We out. Y'all go drink your sorrows away.